It's 2 a.m. There's an incident, and you need to check the committed bandwidth on a circuit or verify the SLA. Where is that circuit contract? Infrastructure teams don't just deal with structured data. There are contracts, compliance reports, network diagrams, design documents, and configuration backups. All of these files live somewhere else, on a shared drive, a wiki, maybe a Git repository, or an FTP server. The problem is that the link between these files and the infrastructure they describe is manual, if they exist at all. And when you actually need a document during an outage, an audit, or a capacity review, you're hunting across multiple different systems to find it. InfraHub fixes this with file objects. With file objects, files become first-class data in your infrastructure data model. No attachments, not links to an external system, but actual objects in the graph. You define custom file types in your schema, a circuit contract with start and end dates, a compliance certificate linked to a site, a network diagram tied to a region, whatever fits your domain. Upload a file and it's linked to the infrastructure it relates to. What makes this different from just uploading a file somewhere? Well, first, it's schema-driven. You define what a file type looks like. A circuit contract has contract dates, a relationship to the circuit, maybe who signed it. It's not a generic attachment. It's a type-structured object. Secondly, it's version controlled. The same branching model you use for everything else in InfraHub applies to files as well. Update the contract on a branch, submit it as a proposed change, get it reviewed, and merge it. The previous version is still there. Time travel works for files too. The UI gives you previews for PDFs, images, YAML files, JSON files, so you can see files without downloading them.
Now I upload a circuit contract to InfraHub. We provide the committed bandwidth, the SLA, the start date, and an end date, and we link the contract to the circuit. We can see that InfraHub has automatically calculated a checksum for the file object, determined the file size, and the type of the file object. We can preview the file in the UI, or we can download it. The key part is that the circuit contract has now been linked to the circuit. If we open the circuit, we can find the contract that is related to the circuit, and we can inspect the file contents of the contract. With this, files are no longer second-class citizens. They are part of your data model, version controlled, and always linked to the infrastructure that they belong to.
In the previous example, I had to manually input the data like the start date and end date of the circuit contract, the committed bandwidth, and the SLA. That is work. And it introduces chances for inputting the wrong data, which is a risk. A little bonus that I want to show you is something that we have been working on. So we're going to be adding a new circuit contract here. We're going to upload the file, and we're not going to provide any of the data that we did in the previous example. When I click on save, InfraHub is going to use a built-in agent to extract all of the needed data for the circuit contract and save it on our object. We can see that when we refresh the page, InfraHub has automatically started to extract data. You can see here that it has extracted the committed bandwidth from the contract, the SLA, the start date, the end date. It even figured out which circuit in InfraHub this contract belongs to and has automatically created the relationship for us. This is right now not built into the product. It's not a feature that we have shipped, but we wanted to show you what our vision is and what future capabilities could come. If you want to find out more about how to work with files in InfraHub, please go to our documentation at docs.infrahub.app.